Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I'm Ajuna Sharawat, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with industry stalwarts interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulae for many. And this is what we trust these sessions are, a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such industry stalwart on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Dr. Sujit Singh. Welcome, Dr. Sujit Singh.
Hi.
Dr. Sujit Singh has over 35 years of work experience and is already an honourable member of the Directors Board. His current designation being CEO and Executive Director at Microsense Private Limited, where he has clocked the highest turnover for the company for fiscal year 2018 to 2019 and has initiated geographic expansions into neighbouring countries along with reaching and maintaining new benchmarks in sales, growth, retention, customer service, and collections. So, Dr. Sujit Singh, which of your job roles has been the most demanding or challenging? Which has been the most enjoyable for you?
In fact, I was pondering about this question could be preempted in many interviews. 35 years is a long career span, right? To pick up the slot that you like the most, the slot that you found it demanding. Many were so, but I would like to highlight one that is close to my heart and mind, I would say. Is 10 years ago, before I was taken up to the pedestal of a CEO, I was a vice president in sales and marketing. So that is, I was managing just one function of business, which is to kind of promise the sales and the delivery of it to customers, your partners. And yes, you were gold on numbers, you had target pressure, you were delivering it or not delivering. That was your life. It was very simple then. And because of the track record I created then, I was given an opportunity by my then board 10 years ago to step up as a CEO for the company and look at the 2.0 version as to where the company can grow from what it was then. And the moment you became a CEO, so obviously all functions report to you. You are accountable for all, not just responsible. You cannot just be involved, you have to be committed as well, right? So that required a gamut of new avenues to learn, including finance to report to me. And I had no previous experience in finance or banking for that matter. They also become our ecosystem partners, right? You need banks to kind of grow for your funds and things like that. We were a closely held company. We didn't have any institutional investors that time. But yes, I need to kind of know finance and work with those finance people. And you have to start adding value to them. How long can you keep on learning, right? Either you do it by common sense or by knowledge that you acquire. And then the software division was also reporting to me. So was the operation division. Then you had purchase, the supply chain management, all the dozen divisions of the company was suddenly overnight reporting to me. And I was grappling to know, and you don't know what is going to hit you from which side because you are learning with the learning curve. So it did take some time. I think it took about 2 quarters to get my feet on the ground. And those 2 quarters were very challenging and demanding. One, you have to hold things together, you have to hold fort, as they say, because suddenly there's no one up there. And it's you, the complete forerunner in the business, and you report to the board, the good or bad. And in between, you have to project, right, growth, what your plans are, including all the elements that goes into a business plan for 3 years, 5 years, make it happen. So that 2 to 3 quarters was very tough, demanding and challenging for me as I started getting into the shoes of a CEO. Um, and then the one that second question was what I enjoyed the most. I would go back to about 23 years ago, that's in 2000, for another company where I was working. That company was launching an internet device. Internet was new in India back in the late 90s. So people were using dial-up, low speed, and then modems were of the order of the day. Then we were getting into some router kind of a product, mass product, B2C, which will go to consumers. And we had no visibility of a brand in the marketplace. The company was known as DAX Networks, but only known to a B2B space where we had channel partners, ecosystem distributors who know you as a company. But when you launch a product with a brand to reach a common man, you need to build a brand. That to in a select segment of where internet was available, mainly metros. So we got into launching our own brand, which includes the packaging of it, includes the creative positioning of it. Digital marketing was not there. You have to rely back on mostly print, rely back to some extent on magazines that are offbeat, which are read by a CEO, which are read by high net worth individuals. We need to cull all that out. So we did a lot of work in terms of getting the brand known in its community of products. We took about 2 to 3 years. So that time, despite of being a sales head, I also played the role of a brand manager. You won't believe, to complement my efforts, I did take up a short course at IIM Bangalore for brand equity, so that I know I'm doing the right thing. So that complemented in my planning and how to go about with the third party agencies who will kind of complement your effort. So that I think about a year or two, I enjoyed my stint. It was an additional role I was playing, a second cap in addition to my sales and marketing as a brand manager. I loved it. It was close to my heart. Even now, I jump at any opportunities that involve some branding.
Okay.
I voluntarily start contributing. So my wife tells me maybe you have a lot of passion for this. Probably you should have taken into advertising industry or something related to that. I mean, anyway, so that was my most enjoyable tenure in my career so far.
Wonderful. You have really vast experience across aspects of business, various aspects of business. Also, you are a member of a board. Could you shed some light on your learnings and development in your over 3 decades long career?
Okay, I will maybe share two or three of them, which is, I think it's my personal learning and my personal experience. People might have experienced it, but probably they may not have highlighted it or may not think it to be very important. See, I'm an MBA graduate, but at work, I also do MBWA. What I call it is management by wandering around, MBWA.
Okay.
See, thing is, you come to an office, the moment you go into a CXO position, you are confined to a cabin, right? And you say, I have an open door policy. People can come and talk to me anytime, come with suggestions, problems, all that. But many people won't be forthcoming. They hesitate to come to reach to you because they think you're busy or you're always in a closed room, you have your own headaches. So that was not actually complementing what you actually meant, right? So I tried the reverse. What I do every day, at least once a day, initially it used to be in the beginning of the day, sometimes during the coffee break or just before the lunch break. I go to each desk, each associate's desk, different functional managers' desk, just chit chat for a minute or two, just stand and say, hi, hi, how's your day been? What is your challenge today? What is nagging you? What can I do for you? Basically, provoke them to open up what problems they are facing that day, right? Or they would have told you something the previous day that they're going to do. Go and check with them. Did it happen? How well did it go? Are you stuck? Do you want me to do something for you? Trust me, that did wonders. It started encouraging people to come and start sharing ideas, even which is not their function. They think, sir, I thought one good thought which can be helpful in that production setup or in this setup. I was just looking at this TV ad, then it struck me. They come and give you something which is not related to their job, but for the company's good. So the MBWA, I found it very good. I just started doing this maybe about 7, 8 years ago. I still practice it. And trust me, there are 2, 3 other colleagues who are not with me now. They've joined other companies. They call and tell me, "Hey, Sujit, we practice your NBW here. It's very useful, man." So that's one learning. I would like to pass it on. And the next one is as a complementing learning to this is I also believe management by consensus. What I mean by consensus is typically, yes, as a leader, you have to articulate your vision and mission statements the way it should reach the people down the line, right? You have to lead, obviously, no doubt about it. You lead by an example. At the same time, engage the associates. You don't dump things on them. Yes, you articulate what is to be done, what the objectives of the organization is, where are we going, go what is as they say. But you please solicit responses from them. Do you think this is a good idea to do? Do you think can we do it some other way? Or can this thing wait for 3 months? Can we do it next year? Whatever be it. Or is there any other better things to do? Right? Solicit even in a closed door meetings. Open up as a brainstorming. Don't call it brainstorming, but throw a question to them. Force them to think. Time and again, see, multiple brains are better than one, right? The idea may be conceived here, but ultimately the team is going to deliver it. As long as they don't confide in it, they don't believe in it. If they have no conviction, the end result may not be the one that you expect. So it's better to involve them, manage by consensus, get them to either commit to it or you commit to their idea, which you think is better than what you thought, and then manage the whole thing. The chances of success rate in this fashion, in my experience, has been very, very good. So I still practice that, the management by consensus. Third learning is very important, especially the CXO friends will agree with me. See, I firmly believe one of the key solutions for any problem in a business um, environment can be addressed by just one solution. Any guesses? Anything that a business is grappling with, right, to address, to cope up with, to resolve, can be addressed by just one aspect of achieving it. That one is growth. Growth. For example, let's say you are struggling to optimize your costs, right? You're probably struggling to solicit funds from investors, right? Or you're struggling to add some new offerings or product lines to your chain. All this can be addressed moment you currently start showing growth in your current business line, right? Whatever be the targets or may not be the target, but you please grow exponentially. Have a CAGR, healthy CAGR, 40%, 50% CAGR year on year. Rest all will fall in line. You will get investors just queuing up at your end, you won't have any fund scarcity. You won't have problem to pay people, to retain people. It's actually the reaction is chain bound, right? Just grow in your business. Whatever you are doing today, just ensure year on year growth, very healthy growth, 40-50% CAGR. Rest all of your problems will get resolved by itself. That's one solution in a boardroom. I keep on reminding people, hey, this can happen moment if you show this growth. Automatically it will happen. Close it. Don't worry. Let's show growth here. Right? So that one
Absolutely.
mantra, I believe in it. Yeah.
This is really the highest level of mantra.
Thank you. I know it. And people like it, right?
Absolutely.
It's for everyone's
Actually,
good.
right. Everyone is working towards growth, evolution. Dr. Sujit, you have been a CEO for over 10 years. You have also chosen a position of executive director. Now you are handling a dual role as a CEO and an executive director. How has your evolution from a CEO to an executive director to now an independent director or a non executive director been?
Good question. I was lucky, I would say, because as I said, my CEO position is now about 10 years. I think in 2022, I took up a CEO mantle. And okay, just let's forget the 2 years that COVID ate up, right? Otherwise, though I was not an executive director in terms of designated title, but I was by and large playing that role because in my company, as I said, it was a closely held company till about a year ago. We're a private limited company, debt-free company. We had no institutional investors backing us up. and profitable, and the company is about 40 years old. Only a year ago, we got into institutional investments. In fact, today 50% is owned by Morgan Stanley, just about 9 months old. So prior to that, I was playing a dual role unofficially as an executive director also, because we were going to the market to seek funds. So our board has to be structured. We needed an executive director full time to look at the MIS, P&L, weekly, monthly, quarterly, get all those governance in place, the corporate governance, the SOPs which were not in place, get ready to face the market and to work with large international institutions, right? So we had to get ourselves ready. So we started plugging all those gaps. In fact, hired few people, also kind of outsourced certain elements which we didn't possess as a strength. All that work was going on in the parallel. So my transition as a CEO to an executive director of playing a dual role got over time. I think because over time and by virtue of, basically indulging in the work that it involves in the role. Not that I was pushed one day to the chair and say, hey, now you behave like this. It actually naturally evolved for me. So I really didn't feel any drastic pressure or a change or a challenge, because you are already playing that role unofficially. And now moving forward, yes, year ahead looks very challenging. Now we are moving into a new board of directors, newer group companies. I'll have group CFOs to report to, right? Following various, rather a varied corporate governance, international, global corporate governance, confined to ESG norms. One of the reason I'm now in Director Institute's courses of DI as well as ESGs to complement my transition forward. Academically also.
Wonderful. And what about, we would like to know your views on this, like we know there's technological surge of late, many such advents, namely 5G, AI, ML, blockchain, Industrial Revolution 4.0, etc., are in the pipeline. How do you suggest they can alter the course of business in the near future?
Good. I'd just like to make a small twist to your question. See, the 5G is a connectivity medium, right? You have complementing technologies. The last mile is 5G. We were using 4G, now you're going for 5G. It's on a different technology called small cells, which promises to give you higher speeds, higher throughputs, and a good connectivity experience. Similarly, you have alternative technology like Wi-Fi for that. Other than 5G, all of the other things you talked about, the AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, IoT, they all actually form the IoT gamut, right? IoT is Internet of Things, basically, right? It basically refers to connecting devices or things on the internet, right? For example, including a refrigerator, including a microwave oven, apart from IT-enabled devices, they all become an IP device. You can control them, monitor them, manage them from internet. That is IoT all about. How is IoT governed or managed? They are through various elements. Your machine learning is one such a managing element. Big data, AI, they all that the works that go behind it. So I see as IoT as the second phase of the internet, right? Because today digitization is the center of everything the world does. Uh, uh, Not to mention the current government's goals. They've been digitizing every aspects of business, even the government business, the economy per se, right? We're all moving to a digitized economy. Not to forget about the um, newer comforts of life we start enjoying, right? From ordering groceries to your doorstep, or ordering food to you, or booking a ticket at the click of your phone button, even to the USA, right? All this were a distant reality a few years ago. But companies adopted this change for the good, for higher efficiency of any given business, right? So tomorrow, there won't be any chance for an enterprise, be it a manufacturing company um, or a consumer company, durable company, to adopt IoT in its business, because the Internet of Things or the technology is going to empower these companies, improve productivity, correct? Also reduce human labor, make things more efficient, right? And make management and operations of things very easier. For example, you can collect a lot of data, which today is like in isolation for you. And then what you do after the data collection, you have to manage them better for optimizing your various steps of your business, including improving customer experiences, whether you're a manufacturing company or you are a non-manufacturing services company, right? So the potential to transform any given business is going to be the next step in which your AI, ML, IoT are all going to be lending a competitive factor for any business, right from banking, right? Um, any market, I don't see any exceptions there. And as CEOs who may not be technologically savvy, they also have to adopt it for their own good, for them to kind of deliver more efficiently and effectively as well, right? So basically, it will give you real-time data of people, process, devices that are connected to your own products that you're selling, right? And thereby adopt this and deploy it back on, be it manufacturing, be it healthcare. They all are going to be very highly disrupted on IoT. We are just in the nascent stages of it. I mean, it's in its early stages of its product life cycle, but it is going to be the platform for the entire economy to kind of tomorrow build on and grow. Version 2.0, as I say, right? So IoT is a very interesting phase. I mean, you will see a lot many adoption happening as we speak now. Already many IT companies are adopted. The non-IT companies are now adopting to it, right? So far, the adoption has been slow. Thanks to COVID also, it delayed things further, right? But I think maybe today is what, 2023. By 2025, I think 30 to 35% of the companies, one third of the business enterprises in India would definitely be going the IoT way. Basically, like mm, things or devices, all physical key items can be tracked. You'll have user interfaces like today, use your phone for many things. Tomorrow, we'll have user interfaces coming for running your business, right? Data will be on the cloud. You'll have analytic dashboard for various functions to analyze what is going on, how you can improve your delivery timelines, how you can cut costs, make it cheaper for your consumers, right? Interacting, giving a digital experience to customers, like instead of today, people have to use multiple points, touch points to get in touch with a customer within a company. Tomorrow, it will all be kind of simplified. You just have to reach one level to get everything that you want to do from that company as its customer. It will be made very easy for people, right? So it's interesting time ahead, and I look forward to it. And I'm from the IT industry, so it's even more um,
Exciting.
delightful for me to kind of look at this space evolving.
Wonderful. Yes. Dr. Sujit, as you are an executive director, why, as you may think, do you wish to get into the role of non-executive director? And
Okay,
what value can you
you want an honest
bring to the
answer?
public? Sorry?
You want an honest answer?
Yes, yes, we want an honest answer.
Honest answer is to basically have some employment post your retirement, right? We are governed by retiring ages in all companies, be it private, public, government. And I've been used to working for 35 years, and I dread to think of what will I do after I retire. I still want to be connected to the professional world. At the same time, you must have read the Maslow's pyramid of needs. Most MBA classes teach you this. Maslow's as a pyramid, it defines at what stage each one grows, evolves. First is physical needs. Physical needs is to take care of your roti, kapda, makan. It goes above that. At the top of the pyramid is your self-actualization layer. Today, as a CXO, when you retire, you are already in the top of Maslow's pyramid. You are self-actualized. At that stage is when you want to give it back. Give it back to the society, the community in some form which you think you can contribute. Need not be always money. It can also be money, but it can be knowledge. It can be a contribution that you can make a difference with, right? So for that, I would need to be academically also qualified, right? Yes, 35 years of experience have taught you the good and bad. As they say, experience makes a man. But you don't want to falter, you don't want to kind of take a wrong path or a difficult SOP when you go into a corporate governance to a larger organization to contribute as a non-executive director. And yes, the reason for non-executive director is twofold. One is to continue working after retirement. Second, how can you make a difference, right? Not really monetary wise, but in terms of the knowledge that you have learned over these years, this society needs this business class needs it. And I told this to Lovelace and also to Zishan when I first spoke to them. You guys are doing a great job with all this different aspects of communities you're building. I never knew it existed. And I've been started referring this to many of my colleagues in industry to make a part of this, become a part of this, especially World Council of Directors, stay connected and see how we can contribute, right? So I'm looking forward to that phase of my life eagerly. Mainly, one, to keep yourself occupied and give it to the society, business society.
That's indeed very honest answer. And also you have actually partly answered my next question, but still I'll ask you the next question, which is that as you're aware, we are building FaceTime with Leaders community for cross-pollination of knowledge and a community of independent directors for having a better governance in the country. So what are your thoughts about these initiatives taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan and Mr. Heval
It's
Mehta and the
wonderful.
whole team?
It's wonderful. Accidentally, I landed up on, I think, Zishan. Yeah, Zishan. Yes. Through some, I think I got some digital marketing mailer or I got some WhatsApp promo mailer. Normally, I ignore all that unless something appeals to me. That's how I got into your first webinar that happened some last June sometime. Till that time, trust me, I didn't know that such a forum exists. I was actually searching for it mentally. Wish we had some forum like this, which
So
can
you
complement.
manifested it.
Sorry,
You manifested it.
manifested. You're right. Yeah, as I say, you keep affirming things, then things happen, right? So I was, and then I landed up here. You won't believe. After I finished that independent directors course, the people who did in my batch were about 32 people, if I'm right, all from different stratas of society and job roles, right? We are ex-servicemen to even a young CEO who's just about late 30s, a lady in a public sector company. We all are part of a WhatsApp group now. Trust me, it's a very active group where we, even when I'm stuck to make a decision, something very complicated which I'm not able to solve myself, we just throw that in the group and you get tuck tuck tuck, people keep answering, somebody calls you, and very active group, and it's like it's a peer group for us, right? And now imagine about the World Council forum, we'll have tens and hundreds of such repositories of knowledge, if we may call it. And yes, this can be put to good use tomorrow. As I said, this particular forum can be, um, we can even do a CSR on this. If I think very aloud on this, we can actually manifest this entire knowledge bank or the objectives of this particular forum to translate as a CSR initiative to the disorganized section of the societies, business societies today. Right? There are many businesses, they are thriving, doing well, but they're not organized. They lack that expertise or they lack that support from qualified professionals like us. We can actually uplift them. You spot an idea. There are many startups which today die because they don't have directions. Not that they don't have funds, but they don't have people to direct them. The idea is very good, but how do they give shape to it? They don't know. So this forum can actually play a CSR role to encourage those kind of budding professionals in the country, thereby contribute to our what do you call it, GDP also indirectly as we grow.